So, you're prepping for an interpreting exam like the NAATI CCL. You know it's not just about being fluent, right? There's this one skill, it's a real game changer. It's what makes a good interpreter, well, great. Today, we're going to talk all about it, the power of anticipation. I know, it sounds a little like a superpower, doesn't it? Being able to guess what someone's going to say? But here's the thing, it's not magic, not at all. It's a legit professional technique, a skill you can actually train. And it gives you this huge edge. It's all about being one step ahead.
And that secret weapon? We call it anticipation. So over the next few minutes, we're going to break it all down. What it is, why it works so well, and most importantly, how you can start building that mental muscle to seriously boost your confidence and your performance.
Okay, so think of it like this. Anticipation is like seeing the road ahead when you're driving. It's not just about hearing the words as they come at you, it's about predicting where the conversation is going. And those few milliseconds you gain, man, they are everything. That's your breathing room, you know? Your time to process, grab the right vocabulary, and get your sentences in order. It's the difference between just reacting and being truly ready. And that, my friends, is the key to being fluent and accurate when the pressure's on. All right, so where do we start with all this? Well, the good news is your advantage kicks in before anyone even says a single word. It all starts with that little piece of text you get at the beginning of every dialogue. You know the one, the briefing. Get this, studies have actually shown that if you really understand and break down that briefing, you can improve your performance by up to 30%. Yeah, you heard that right. This isn't some small tip, it's a massive head start. You just can't afford to ignore it. 30%. Let that sink in for a second. Just by nailing those first few moments with the briefing, you are literally setting the stage for the entire conversation. This is where all that hard work pays off, big time. So how do we actually get that 30% advantage? The key is to use that briefing to build what I like to call a mental map. Basically, you're creating a whole framework for the conversation in your head before it even starts.
And the method is super simple. You just have to remember 3 letters, P-L-T. First up, P is for participants. Who is actually talking? Then you've got L for location. Where are they? And finally, T for topic. What are they talking about? PLT. That's it. That's your blueprint.
Now, when you use this PLT method, you're not just reading words on a page, right? You're actively getting ready. You start to see the whole scenario in your mind, which in turn helps you guess the kind of vocabulary that's going to pop up. And remember, a lot of this key info will probably be repeated in the dialogue. So if you jot it down now, you're saving yourself a ton of time later on. Okay, so that's the prep work. Done. But anticipation isn't just about what you do before the talking starts. How do you actively predict what's coming next, like in the middle of the conversation? Well, this takes a little brain training, and luckily, there's a specific technique for that. The technique is called clozing. And I promise, you've probably done this thousands of times without even knowing it had a name. It's basically just filling in the blanks, you know? Using the context you have to finish a sentence. Think of it like a workout for your brain's prediction muscles. Seriously. Practicing clozing doesn't just make you a better guesser, it sharpens everything, your deduction, your analytical skills, even the way you express yourself. The more you do it, the more natural and fluent your interpreting is going to be. Here's a super quick example. The patient is here for a follow-up about her high blood... What's the next word? I'll wait. Your brain probably just screamed, pressure, right? Or maybe sugar. See? That's clozing. You just use the context to predict the most likely word. Simple as that. All right, let's put it all together. Let's see how this actually works in a real-deal test scenario. This is where the theory gets real. Okay, so picture this. This is your briefing. Let's run our PLT method. P for participants. Okay, we've got a Centerlink officer and an unemployed migrant woman. L for location, Centerlink. Easy enough. And T for topic? They're talking about suspending the New Start allowance job search because of a medical disability. Boom. Instantly, that mental map starts coming together in your head. And here it is, the payoff. Right away, your brain starts firing off all the possible vocabulary. You can pretty much guarantee they're going to talk about the New Start allowance, the job search, and probably a medical certificate. And just like that, you've got a whole arsenal of key terms ready to go before anyone's even opened their mouth. So, what this all really boils down to is a simple 2-part strategy. See, anticipation isn't just one thing. It's a combination of really smart prep work and active, in-the-moment practice. So here's your game plan. It's simple. Before the dialogue even starts, you're going to analyze that briefing using our PLT framework. You're building that mental map. Then, during the dialogue, you flip the switch, you activate that training, and you're constantly closing, always trying to guess what the speaker's going to say next.
Look, the best way to get amazing at this is to make it a habit, like an everyday thing. Don't just save it for when you're doing test practice. Do it when you're listening to the news or a podcast. Heck, do it when you're just talking to a friend. Turn every single conversation into your own personal training ground. So I'll leave you with this question. What conversation are you going to anticipate today?